And HDMI.
Yeah. I do have those the USB.
Yeah.
I'm not just to drive off it. Still not. It has such a
I will never get come hard on your tip once.
yeah, it has such a good I want to check this
It's Panarian.
So the stream will continue until we get the
So the only thing that you need is that and camera only. For camera for visuals, that for coverage. Photography information. Ya lwazi. Ah, wena munhu ku vulisa ka rona bayizisa wena. Yeah? No, it's fine. Cross night, I'm Mr. Wrong bayizisa. This guy.
Power.
Did you put in power? Okay, so now what we need is
HDMI.
how many meters is this?
This one. Now we'll sort it out. Okay.
We move. That's a petty bar, because I want us to finish preparing here and then we have breakfast. Because I couldn't buy us breakfast to go on now. The long one.
So this one is from my laptop to the speaker.
Where's the splitter? Yeah? Ah, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to
Okay.
What the penny?
They're on the other side.
What the 20 days?
Yeah.
What the penny? Or the penny? Aku utubrela ko fast at.
So we do have another extension, right?
Yeah, but what did you say?
One there, one here. And then let me look this. Just look at it.
So how do I just be able to protect for us? Money here. Like you don't want to let us stay here. So when we are going over to South Africa, we see what we do.
Yeah. Then let's send it to the Facebook screen now. I can actually There's enough at the house, bro.
Sanbana opportunity.
We don't let it get you. What's that guy that's proud of? Can I tell him come in? No, we just didn't get it. Yeah.
You know how to sit on the seat?
Yep, la makepu. Kepu msama wopengisa phezulu. Yo, ayo asawufair Jew. Mara bongo zoyenza kanjani vele?
Tell the arm back for Jesus. Okay. Yeah, that's a smaller Do you have matches? Anyone matches? Oh. Okay. Oh, Evie. Yeah,
Thank you. Where is it? Okay. I'd like to say good morning to everybody who's here. Good morning. Good morning again. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is, of course, said wherever we are, we should maintain social distance. So can we do that now and try by all means? But this will be the social distance. It will be the memorial stone distancing. That's it. I don't see any movement. I don't see any movement of social distancing because this thing is going to go through the media and so on. So we don't want the gun finger to point at us. Let me see you moving, please. Let me see you moving. I know some of you, you've got a serious bond of marriage, yes, of course. But for today, let's just observe the memorial stone distancing. Ladies and gentlemen, the family of the Ga-Semenyas and the family of the Mkhulus and all inner circle families that are here would like to welcome you, above all to thank you, because in such kind of a weather it is very difficult to jump out of bed and divorce your bed to come to this ceremony. In any way, we like to welcome you, and we definitely say thank you for the effort that you took to be with us. Moreover, in this dispensation of this epidemic, because people are afraid to go to such kind of ceremonies, because many people are affected where they come to social gatherings, which is true. So you made it a possibility that you come, let alone the situation or the dispensation in which we are. We thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we welcome you all, and those who are going to play a pivotal role in this ceremony. We wish that you be blessed. We wish that you be blessed, and really I pray that we receive the message that you have brought for us, so that there should be a little bit of a little bit of changing. So people must not live the way they came here. You know, if you go to a social gathering, you shouldn't leave that social gathering the way you came in. You must go back home having received something. So with that little bit of a welcome, I still say you're welcome, be free, until we go down where there is a gravestone that we are going to unveil. You know, we are going to unveil a secret today. You cannot unveil something that is not a secret. So today we are going to unveil the secret that has love in it. I won't take much of your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Let's give that a round of applause. Let me take the opportunity to introduce myself. It's so nice when we start and we know that we are welcome. When we know that it's our It is such a pleasure, it's such an honor to be here. I'm trying to figure out, is my mic okay? Or should I use this one? It's fine. Right. Thank you so much. It is indeed such a cold weather. But when the Spirit wants you here, you don't feel anything. Because we are the people that look inside our bodies and never the outside. I'm going to take us through the journey of why are we here. My name is Wendy Mkhulu, and I represent the great empire of Kemet. The Zinzi Mandela Foundation. We came here to honor the unveiling of the tombstone of the family. I'm going to go through the program, which is Ipulo Yalisikwa La Ratswane Bobby Siniya. Before I start, to all my speakers, we have to finish the program at 11 o'clock. So I'm truly, with so much respect, that let's respect the time. Each speaker is having 10 minutes. So with that, let's please honor that. Because by 12 o'clock, we have to be at the Waterfall Cemetery. That is when the sun is aligned with our bodies. That is when it's in its highest frequency. So we've already had the opening and the welcome. After that, we're going to have Palafala Litapelo. That is going to be led by Nsingiza. After he's done that, he will do the keynote speak, which is about 20 minutes. That is what now Nsingiza is going to answer the question, why are we here? Why have we gathered here? After we do that, and then there's a special item that is going to be led by Ratswane, featuring Uaza Numo Africa. And then item number 4, tribute by friends, Ditsala. And then tribute by neighbors, Ga-Semenya. And tribute by Mkhulu, Pugudwe. And tribute by siblings, Ratswane. And tribute by children, Bana. And then there'll be a special item, which is the slideshow of Mr. Ga-Semenya. And then tribute by wife, Ndovgas Malilapa, Mrs. Mkhulu, Semenya. And then tribute by elders, Batwadi, Mr. Kaifas Semenya. And then Kibesireto, Sasemenya, Bamama Sai. And then after that, as I said, if you can finish this at 11 o'clock, that's when we escort to the Waterfall Cemetery for the tombstone unveiling ceremony. Thank you so much for welcoming us. With that in Ngoma, and then I'll start the journey and introducing what is the great empire of Kemet and why we're here, and then I hand over to Mkhulu Nsingiza. Right, Mkhadi, can I have a song? You support Mkhulu with the horn. Can we all stand?
Thokozani Makhetha. Into soyenza ngokwesiko thina ama-Afrika siye sibizeke amadlozi before siqala-ke umsebenzi wethu. Kepha lokho esizokusho esizokwenza into vele beyenziwa okhokho bethu thina esayilibala. Manje sizovuselela yona ukuthi as we begin nomsebenzi wethu, we need to invite all those principles that are responsible for creation yethu and everything else. Manje ke mina ngizobuka ke ngapha bese niyalandela lokho engishoyo. Amvele incane. Ramaseni. Angweli. Amtetogas. Asset. sex,
sex,
hetero,
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 anpu,
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 segment,
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 amhlaba,
amhlaba,
amhlaba, alifat,
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 ahiru,
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 ahiru.
Cela-ke sifake idlozi. Umoya kama-athi ungene ngaphakathi kwaleli gumbi.
Umoya kama-athi ungene ngaphakathi kwaleli gumbi.
Banikeze isinqumo esihambelana namazwi kaJehudi.
Basinikeze isinqumo esihambelana namazwi kaJehudi.
Yena ongumahluleli futhi abe ngumlingani kadade wakhe.
Yena ongumahluleli aphinde abe ngumlingani wakadade wakhe.
Ongumlinganisi.
Ongumlinganisi.
Abalandeli abangcwele bangofakazi.
Abalandeli abangcwele bangofakazi.
Izilinganiso zonke zinezibonakaliso.
Izilinganiso zonke zinezibonakaliso.
Indlu yami imiswe ngeqiniso.
Indlu yami imiswe ngeqiniso.
Yakheke kahle.
Yakheke kahle.
Amthethokazi.
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 Ama-art.
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 Nalikihu. Wena ungumfanekiso kaMvelinqangi uRa.
Wena ungumfanekiso kaMvelinqangi uRa.
Nkosazana yehola umkhumbi welanga.
Nkosazana yehola umkhumbi welanga.
Ngibhekisa kuwe.
Ngibhekisa kuwe.
Wena mahluleli weqiniso.
Wena mahluleli weqiniso.
Nakho konke okungafi.
Nakho konke okungafi.
Igumbi likhanyisiwe.
Igumbi likhanyisiwe.
Izibane zakho.
Izibane zakho.
Ezimbili.
Ezimbili.
Isilinganiso nomthetho.
Isilinganiso nomthetho.
Ngilandela indlela yakho elotshwe phezulu esibhakabhakeni.
Ngilandela indlela yakho elotshwe phezulu esibhakabhakeni.
Ngingena egunjini lesilinganiso.
Ngingena egunjini lesilinganiso.
Ngilindele isinqumo sakho.
Ngilindele isinqumo sakho.
Uyinkosazana yezulu.
Uyinkosazana yezulu.
Nomhlaba namazwe amabili.
Nomhlaba namazwe amabili.
Wena ukhipha igama elingcwele.
Wena ukhipha igama elingcwele.
Egunjini lezinqumo.
Egunjini lezinqumo.
Amthethokazi.
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 Ama-art.
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 Thokoza Mkhulu. Thokoza Mkhulu. Don't go far, Mkhulu, because you're still going to give us. Then we can all be seated. We can all be seated. Let me just take a step back, just to give a highlight of the journey. You can be seated, Mkhulu. That's what it was. Everything that we live in the physical realm or in the physical domain, it starts in the spiritual. What Mkhulu ebephahla kuyo, we call it the African calendar. As if the great empire of Kemet, it is a spiritual movement. It's a spiritual movement. When I say spiritual movement, it is a journey that you understand that you are never the physical. What do I mean when I say you are never the physical? It is because your body, inside it, there is a spirit that lives on. That is what we are honoring today. The journey of Ndate body. There is nothing that has a beginning and is an end. That is why we call it the soul. It's a journey. So the beginning of the African calendar is the research that was done by Mkhulu Nsingiza, Zinzi Mandela, Winnie Madikizela Mandela. So they did a search. We call it when you search for your soul. When you recognize that there is something that separates us, something that we cannot and not look beyond. In the search of their journey, they realized Butumdomnyama, the politics separates us. Religion separates us. Language separates us. Our skin color separates us. Their vision is because the spirit lives on. How do we unite Singumuntu Omnyama? What is it that it can do that would make us see and feel beyond the physical? That was the launch here of what we call the African calendar. Now, what is the African calendar? African calendar, it is what we use because everything is nature. Everything, it is a spirit. What do I mean by that? If you look at the plants around us, if you look at the trees around us, there's nothing that separates the air that they breathe to the air that I breathe. But when you look at the rose knows what is the gene, why is it a rose? But now as human beings, that is where the struggle becomes, because we don't get to know what is the purpose of us being on planet Earth. This is a vision that started in the spiritual or in the spiritual domain, and it manifested into the physical. So that is what before we were colonized. In that frequency, that is when we gather every Sunday and more, and we learn what do we mean by a spiritual being. What is your aura? What is your soul? What is your car? What is your bar? Because this is everything, as I said, there is no beginning and there's no end. We call it alignment. When you are aligned as the physical body, through your spiritual, you will know your purpose. Why are you on planet Earth? We gather every Sunday to teach ourselves because we have forgotten what is the role that is expected from us to play on the planet Earth. That is what we do, and we do it with so much love, with so much commitment every Sunday. Mkhulu Nsingiza always gives us so much empowering topics. How can you live in the physical and be a spiritual being? Now let me get to why we're here. We feel your spirit. We feel your presence. When you look at the great empire of Kemet, this was his vision. This was his story. That is why today I ask all of us to open our hearts and really be aligned with his spirit, because this is what his present life, even now in the spiritual realm, he invited us here. All we do is to come and honor his vision. He had a purpose. We lived with him. We know how much he loved Mvelingani, Ukamata. He's still in that journey because there is no end. What he does, the soul just takes off and leaves the physical body. But your dream never dies. That is exactly, so he invited, so in the spiritual, because we believe in what he believed and what he still believes in his spiritual realm. That's why he aligned with the great empire of Kemet. But please come and honor the unveiling of my tombstone. Let's open our heart, because his frequency, it is within us. Let's open ourselves and feel his energy and feel his love. As I said, everything is a vision. When you come on earth, you don't want to live it as chaotic as the mess as it is. But if we look at the physical, we will live it the way it is. So Mkhulu Nsingiza, by saying all this, please give us a keynote address, so that we make sure that whatever we think, whatever we feel, it is aligned with the vision and the purpose of us being here today. We're here to love the family of Semenya. We're here to love the friends. We're here to make sure that you see with Okoko, Bebe Pila Wolflog, Bebe Nula, Bebe Tamabusha, Bebe City Bebe Kosi, So Mkhulu Nsingiza, Mpho, funa ukumsukumisa ngengoma Mkhulu Nsingiza. Give us a keynote Mkhulu.
ngiqale nje ngokubulisa ngikhombisa inhlonipho enhlokweni zomuzi. bonke abala ekhaya siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi kube naleli thuba abasinikeza lona ukuthi sizo kwakha kabusha umoya kababa ngoba today we are remembering the spirit of ubaba uBholi. Ngokwesiko according to okhokho bethu i-unveiling besingenayo. We didn't have the unveiling. Why? Because you would prepare your tomb before you depart from here. You would actually construct a tomb, you know, like we are constructing a house, you know, where because of the belief that even science confirms that energy never dies. You can't kill energy, you can't destroy energy. So therefore, whatever umoya womuntu kusala nje umzimba emhlabeni, but the spirit lives on, you know, forever and ever and ever. Kusho thina kuconfirma nescience yabelungu. So ukuthi umuntu ke mengasekho bese kuthiwa lo muntu akasaphili. Lo moya uyaphila. This spirit is alive because nathi we are alive. And lo moya thina siumoya before siba inyanga. Everything starts in the spirit. So today sizo vuselela, especially, you know, I loved the timing. Tina sihamba nge-calendar, a calendar that is based on the southern hemisphere. So many lokonisizwa sikhuluma ngabo ma-art, abo asa, abo antu. Asikhulumi ngezithixo. Sikhuluma about African science. Because when you talk about asa, we are talking about hydrogen. And all these principles are representatives of the elements that you know in the periodic you know, table. So okhokho bethu hydrogen bayibiza u-asa, oxygen bayibiza u-oset. So this is where we are actually, you know, at in terms of vibration. And it was a pleasant to know that Ubaba, before he departed, he was searching for this knowledge, because this is the knowledge that prevailed before colonization of Africa. So what you know, makes it difficult to go to, after all these years, decolonization has happened, you know, from Ghana. In terms of our spirituality, is still, you know, trapped. It's still in jail. Why? Because Tina, as African people, we cannot fully express, you know, our spirituality without being judged, you know, by other people. And Tina, we are not talking about any other thing but sikhuluma ngemvelo, in nature. You know, we are trying to bring back ourselves and reconnect ourselves back to nature. So le calendar le asiona incwadi that is full of it. This interprets our movement as we go around the sun. You know, because it moves in degrees. When the sun, the proximity of the sun and earth, you know, maybe let degree, there are certain energies that are prevalent on earth, which is what we call abo ma'at, abo oset. And in science, you all are my elements that you know. So, so that kungabi nokusaba ukuthi abantu mhlambe, you know, yintsha lento ebantwini, and abantu have a right to actually question into entsha kubo. But what we believe in ukuthi lento, it's not new. We are yazi because of what is called genetic memory. So Tina sizo stimulated your memory, but with time you will remember what you also possess this knowledge because we are still connected to nature. Remember ukuthi ilanga okhokho bethu were not ambiguous about who the creator is. Basipointa to ilanga. NgesiZulu sithi umvelincane. NgesiSuthu sithi uRamasedi. NgesiXhosa sithi uNamandla. That links back to nature. You know, according to the African creation story, said ukuthi besikuphi before colonization. We will then understand the science behind okhokho bethu naming umdali as uRamasedi, the bringer of light, as umvelincane. It goes back to the Kemet time when you know, the first cause before any other creation was called atom. Science then called it atom. IBhayibheli layibiza ukuthi atom. That is the first cause, the first principle that emerged from that carbon soup we call ngesiZulu ukhulukhulwana. Angazi ke ngokuNgesuthu ukuthi ibizwani. But it is the carbon that is, you know, surrounding everything in our universe. Look at the sun. Kuthiwe the sun represents our creator, umvelincane. Meaning ukuthi the sun burns carbon to produce hydrogen. And Tina, our DNA is bonded by hydrogen. So as long as ilanga likhona nathi sizophila. And the science says if there was no sun and moon, you know, to support the environment on earth, there wouldn't be life on earth. So there's nothing to be you know, confused about. It means ukuthi our creator ilanga. Ngoba siloko sibiza, you know, zonke lezinto lezi, but without really acknowledging what energy, the energy that gives us that animation. We are able to walk, we are able to do everything that we. It's because of the energy of the sun. So namhlanje ngiyabonga Ndlovukazi ukuthi nisinikele thuba, and the timing, it's amazing because the principle that governs the season esikuyo art. Art rebuilds everything that was destroyed by season esiphuma kuyo, which is the season kaSeth. Usethi simbiza umbhidlizi because usethi ubhidliza everything that is not founded or grounded by the principles of art. So namhlanje ke njengoba kwenziwa le tombstone asikhulumi ngenyama. Yes, it's important. Why? Because amathambo kababa lapha. The reason why siya emathuneni is because sizokhuluma nalo moya who is still attached kulamathambo. Remember, because of melanin content in our system. Melanin is a chemical that receives and sends the information. So yingakho okhokho bethu will build houses ukuthi mina mase ngihambile ngicela nizongibeka la, so that thina we are able ukuthi njengoba simkhumbula namhlanje we go and sit with you know, that spirit, sidle naso leso spirit, because leso spirit sisaphila nanamhlanje. Sibona ngama-signs. Indlovukazi labe ingitshela izinto that were just happening, you know, this week. All the signs that are confirming ukuthi ubaba uyavuma sime ngalendlela. So manje polo ukuthi mhlambe sibonakale ngathi sizo impose, you know, to the family. Sicela nje ukuthi family samukele, you know, sizama ukubuyela emuva. La ubaba uBobby khona ebekhona before some, because bengeke if ubaba uBobby didn't understand and walk at this path. And it's a path that we as Africans have got to follow, because we are the only race in our, you know, in our country that is so divided. Why? Because we lack that glue. Politically, umuntu le, omunye le, you know, religious lo muntu ule akukho la sihlangana khona. And this is the unity that we need. If we talk about the future, if future of the continent demands that we unite as black people. Whether it's development, whether we move forward, we can't move forward because the way we are vulnerable to be persuaded in whatever way. So uba Bobi njengoba sizo hlanganisa kabusha umoya wakhe namhlanje sicela lo moya wakhe, his spirit, his soul isincede thina ama-Afrika. Le ngoma besiyicula vele ngoba siyifila ngaphakathi ukuthi we need unity, we need intervention kaMvelincane so that it gives us unity. Singathi mesihlangana singabantu abamnyama silokho sibhekana kabi, silokho sisolana, silokho sizondana. That is why also when it comes to the economy, we are worse off. How can the majority be worse off in their own country? It's because of this disunity. We are not able to support each other. Sihlukene. Huh? I've never seen a country or a nation being built without this foundation. As an example, the calendar that we use, it's a calendar that is based on the northern hemisphere. It doesn't correlate with the energy of the southern hemisphere. So these are things that we need to correct, because if we don't correct that, we further corrupting our own protons and electrons. That is why you are then vulnerable. Ufana nomhlanga, we are le, because we are not established, we are not asa. We need to be established as black people. See, I bugala land all these other nations. You know, Machuta, Manja, and everybody else. By united. By unite wayini, culture yabo. Iya culture yetu nathi united, because as much as ngibiza mina my creator uMvelincane, when umbiza ngesisuthu uRamase, somebody else to Kamata. That is one thing that unites us. So why are we not looking forward, all of us, towards working towards unity? Yom Nyama. And the first thing that we need to do, we need to unite. Ngokamoya. We need to understand ukuthi we can't go against the natural flow of energy. If the energy of the southern hemisphere iyale, of the northern hemisphere it goes on the opposite direction. Yingakho sizozithola ukuthi siguqa ngesikhathi esi-wrong. Bese sithi umdala kaphenduli. Because timing yakho is wrong. Magul summer la in the southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere it's winter. So if you are following a calendar that is based on the northern hemisphere, ukuqa ngesikhathi esi-wrong. In New Year to 19 September. And in nature confirms. Everything starts greening. So that is the calendar that we need. I-calendar futhi neutral. I-calendar neutral yiyo esingayuza as an instrument to unite black people. Uma singaphatha sonke at the same tibophekile. Our stats confirm all the time ukuthi we are worse off economically. This inequality in South Africa, angisakhulumi la South Africa kuphela, all over the continent, abantu abamnyama are worse off. Why? When we are in the land that is full of so many resources, it's because we don't have one vision. I normally say ukuthi ngo-94, it was an immature decision for politicians to be divided. Ukuthi no, mina ngiyohamba nge-PAC, mina ngiyohamba ngenkatha, mina ngiyohamba ngani, whatever. It was wrong because apartheid affected us. Ngokufana. We're supposed to unite them. Ngabe by now we are very far in terms of development. Inkinga yethu ukuthi if lento singayilungisi siqilaza a generation that is to come. Ngoba okwamanje instead ukuthi sibe more advanced than our ancestors, we can't move forward because we have to correct the wrong that was done in 94. In 94, in a way, it's niggas there, you know, this superficial, thought to go to we are independent. We are not independent. We are still controlled by a Western construct because the political and the economic system is a control of Belung and Namshan. So where's the freedom there? So, meaning joining Pelayo Makesha, I see Eleni get Bubabu Pobi, Ugutin Jama Basagastanga, Nisema Lentela. I guess let us look at each other differently. Ungang moving fage by Uti Tagatilo. Hey, because le buying in Fagile, Lifunwa elections in Funa. And the over comfortable many shows. Nobody shows in the angel and whatever, it's the same thing. It's just different packages. If package is tuner netos, it's the same thing. It's just that it's tuner season later. But the original is Josie. So sing I balegeli leondoleo because the minute she created that resonance, or Kokobaya Sizwa, they will give us the answer. We must be one as black people. That's exactly into CAC Pasela. Who are in this, path, we've witnessed image more, yeah. Why? Because we approach life intelligently. Siyazi ukuthi mesingena kule season, the characteristic of this season is this and that. So we have to align to that, resonance and vibration of the season. So, ngiyabonga umndeni, ngibonge ne-family yonke ukuthi, we are not here ukuzobhiziza whatever enikuyo Makhesh. Kepha sizohlanganisa umoya kaBaba ngale ndlela ahambe la emhlabeni. Mengizwa ngomama nenkosazana kuthiwa uBaba esikhathini esiningi abantu bebengamunderstand. Ubaba uBobby ngamfanisa noBaba Credo. Ubaba Credo, the wisest man in South Africa. Lesingamuzwa because ufike isikhathi sakho thina singekho ready. It's only now that people are waking up. Bafuna incwadi zikaBaba Credo all over. So uBaba Bobby ngumfanisa noBaba Credo. Ukuthi uhambe la emhlabeni isifiso sakhe ukuthi vele ahambe la emhlabeni ebone i-unity and decolonization of the mind of an African person. So lento siyenzayo yinto that resonates with spirit sakhe. Hand of God, hand of God, hand of God, Oset, Angwidi, Ramase, Antu, Angwidi.
Round of applause for Mkhulu.